Our first item is the approval of minutes for March 11th, which were included. If there are no changes, I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Our first discussion item is the mural promotion project update. Or do we want to go over the treasurer's report?
There's not any money, but it's always included in there. So just so you can see the encumbered amount. We've already laid out our funding for this fiscal year. So this is just a reminder of that. And we'll go past that real fast to the first one. How about that? I will provide for you an update where we are. I have been out for almost a month with some unexpected medical stuff, so I got behind, and I'm not as far along as I wanted to be at this point. But we do have in front of you, this is the website. If you haven't been there, it's on Visit Oconee, and you click on Arts and Historical, and you go to the mural trail, and all of the information that was on that big spreadsheet has now been put into website form, and you can scroll through, you can click on these pictures. If you're a visitor and you're wanting to add this to your trip, then you would just click Add to My Visit, and it builds an itinerary for you to do, and that's throughout the website. So if you find a place you want to stay or something you want to do or shop or eat, you can add that to your itinerary all through the website, and it kind of builds that for you. We can add to this. So this is just our starting point, and as more murals are done, they're easily added to this platform. So this part is done and up, and as we get more, we can add them to that.
2 questions.
Yes.
One is, this is where, when they scan the QR code, this is where they will go? Or do they go to the specific mural?
Well, that can be a point of
Discussion? Okay.
If you want it to go to the specific mural, I don't know how that would work since it's a scroll.
Right.
That's a question for the back end folks that do our website. So if you're looking at the Mona Lisa in Westminster and you click that, is there a way to get it right there on the screen?
So the word Mona Lisa that's in orange isn't a link to a separate page?
It is not.
Okay, got it, but it turns brown, okay.
Yeah. So, but it does give you directions if you need them. So if you're on here and you don't know where it's at, it will take you to it, or vice versa. If you're there and you want to know about it, it takes you back to here.
My second question is, have the artists been, or will they be notified that this is up? I'm just curious, even when I was collecting the data for the spreadsheet, like some of the descriptions were quite lengthy, and we had to get it down to our character limit, and I just didn't. I'm wondering, should we give them an opportunity to
Absolutely.
take another look at it?
I will send out an email. It's just a couple of them right now.
Yeah.
So I'll send out an email to them, have them go look. If there's any changes they want to make, it's easy enough to get those changes back to us, and we can make those edits for them. So just wanted to provide that. That step is started and ongoing.
So where's this?
So that's if the artist had an Instagram, they would get the Instagram
Instagram.
logo.
Okay.
If they had a Facebook and Instagram, they'll get both of those.
Okay.
And some of them had neither, so they have nothing at this time.
So
And that's
you
what they provided. So I noticed that some gave it to their personal, and then some gave it to if it was specific to a specific piece. So I gave them the opportunity to tell me for each mural what applied.
Okay.
Say that again, so nothing's moving now on mine.
I didn't move it. I'm moving it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So if you click on Facebook, if I go up here to, Facebook formalities, then that goes,
It goes to Gateway Art Center.
okay.
That's where she asked
That's
for
where she wanted it
first.
to
Okay,
us.
all right, so how about, if we go back to Jim Durs? Does he have,
Let's see, his was,
he's got a couple of them.
I don't think he had
Scott,
anything.
keep going. Right here, the Seneca one?
Yeah, he did not
He didn't
provide
provide
that
anything.
information.
Okay, so I
So-
can tell him if he wants to
Absolutely.
do that? Okay.
Yep.
And do you have the one with the train of Jim's on here? I don't see,
It was the trains, planes, and automobiles.
no, there's another one,
Oh.
there's two that are not on here. One of them is the train that Jim Juris did, I don't see it.
No, I don't think we added the ones that were, because that one was indoors, was it?
No, there's two that are outdoors, there were three that are in city of Seneca, the one by, Michelle Winnie's Cityscapes is
Mhm.
here. But then there's one done by Jim Juris that is of a train, a big train that's across from the brewery, the
Yep.
Kiwi Brewery. That's not on here. And then there's the three like postcards that were done by Fred Edgerton. And those are not on here either.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
the
true.
ones on the side of the magistrate building.
Yep,
Okay.
so
We just gotta get them added.
okay, so how do I,
And it may be that, because Scott did not have all the photos done whenever he sent this in, so it may be that he hadn't sent those photos to Shonda yet, and so she hadn't got them added. I can follow up on that.
okay, you will, okay,
Yeah, I'll
those
follow
two.
up on that.
Okay. Is there any place where Scott McKinnis is given credit for taking the pictures?
Not yet, this is still in start form.
Okay,
Yeah, but we did pay him for them, so
okay, all right,
I'll ask him if he wants credit on those or
Okay.
how he wants to do that.
okay, thank you.
Or we are paying, I don't think I paid him yet. All great questions.
I think it looks great.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like this.
The pictures are really good.
So in line with that, and I've got some notes and I'll keep following up and keep building that. I also put on your table, I think I had, there may be not be enough for everybody, I might have to share, the three options for the Coney mural. So Libby did three different layouts of what a sign could look like in and around the murals that would have the QR code on it. And this was just a starting point. So I just commissioned her to put something together for us to start some discussion on what you like. There's a couple of the ones, especially in Seneca, that the city has already sponsored and they already have a plaque there. We probably would just do a QR code because they've already got a plaque on site. And so if you're looking at it and it's got the plaque of the artist and sponsored by the city, we may just add a small QR code to that and it not have a second big plaque. Does that make sense? Because the artist may not want it to be.
Although, I think it would be nice to know that they are part of the Oconee Mural Trail though.
Okay.
I would like
What we
to-
might do is make that a little bit smaller then,
Okay.
for one that's
All right.
already,
Yeah, I want to be
Got
doing
a
numbers
plaque?
in case something's
just
going
put it
away.
beside it.
Yeah, but I think that, especially if they're on here, I'd like them to have.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Okay, couple questions. If you click on the picture, do you get an enlarged version of it, or is that the only
No,
size?
you do not.
Is that a complicated thing to do?
I can ask.
Because I know for me, yeah, I see it, but I might want to look at more detail, and I appreciate that. The second part of that would be, in these three options that we have here, I sort of like the one with information,
The Latin there.
but primarily if that QR code would take me to Chattanooga Bell Water Tower.
You've already got their extension on it.
Yeah.
I kind of like the cleaner version personally, because you're standing in front of it already, and then clicking on that takes you to this, even, by phone or whatever, and you would have all that information.
Yeah,
I
if
like
we're only
it.
gonna have that one code and it's bringing it to this page, I would rather be simple than all the information. But if it was, well, I mean, I guess I'm seeing it already, yeah, I would rather go with something simple. And I like circles.
Is
I
that,
do too. I like the circles.
is,
I just have
is not
stickers
the,
made to put on my car that says I love my wife and it's a circle.
You made you buy that?
No, I made it myself.
Get Outside, the Go, or something like that. There is another logo, I thought, for Oconee County that was green and a circle, and so I was drawn towards this.
Think Oconee?
Think Oconee, is that where
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was?
the, behind you, the banners, so there's a green circle that says Think Oconee.
Okay, that must be what?
Yeah, we got stickers.
One comment I was gonna make on the square that has all the information is that the number, I think might date it and
I wouldn't
cause
try to- I wouldn't try to
causes
do numbers,
problems.
Yeah, and they're not, that's something Libby put on there.
Yeah.
They're not numbered on the website. So
Right.
right now, that doesn't tie to anything, that's just
Yeah.
a sample.
Yeah, I wouldn't put a number on it.
I
I like the simple one, yeah, I'm with you on that.
Can I ask a question? I am curious, for what reason is this non-English?
Oh,
That's
just-
Libby.
That's just a sample of
Oh,
what-
okay.
where the narrative would be.
That's common
It's
practice.
just,
on
Libby.
websites.
It's just Libby.
I'm not familiar with that lingo.
I didn't even look that to see if that was a language.
Tell us
It
what
was-
it
It's
is.
not, it's just.
She was on this.
gibberish.
Yeah, that was her filler.
So you
She was so
understand
too
her
busy
style.
I think some of the examples that I provided, that I had seen elsewhere, like if they were, if they didn't have, it had that. So I think she probably just got that from examples.
Okay.
I do like having the instructions there, take a photo with your phone to be linked to more information, because not everybody is familiar. I think it,
So am I hearing a consensus that the
I
simple one
like
is?
simple circles too
Yeah.
as well.
Do you want that in the form of a motion, or you just want a consensus?
If y'all are
I
giving a
make a motion, we
consensus.
go with the circle.
second,
I second.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where we are on the mural update. I really had hoped to have those done and up, but like I said, I unfortunately was out for a little while.
Okay,
So
just
we'll continue to work on those.
and these were gonna be plaques, and we decided not
So
the
that's
floor?
what I haven't got done yet.
Okay.
I've got to work with each building property owner
Okay,
to determine, are they okay with adhesive, with a bolt, or a sidewalk?
okay,
So that's what, each one may be a touch different.
okay,
So that's the time-consuming piece I haven't got to yet.
Yeah.
okay.
We have an intern that might be helping me with that, so
Nice.
How many total are on the website right now?
I haven't counted.
Oh. I was just curious.
Sixteen.
16, and then the two that I mentioned, plus Jim Juris is
Yeah, I think
doing-
there's 20 total, 20 or 21.
Okay, because there's the flag that's being done in Seneca.
Yeah, Scott was waiting on the construction to get out of the way before we
Yeah.
could take some pictures of that one. So I knew there was a couple pictures we didn't have yet.
Right.
Yeah. But this is live, even though it's a build in progress, it is
Yeah.
live on the website right now. And we'll continue to improve it as we move through.
Okay. You're good with that one. Then we can move on to the next item, which is our next year's fiscal year 22 planning. And our new budget and ideas that we might want to start discussing about what to do with those funds. Are we under the assumption that it's the same,
As of right now, it is
so, and that was
7,500.
7,500?
I'm sorry, I missed last month, so maybe we already discussed it, but the calendar is going forward and being funded from next year, or is that funded out of this year?
It would have to be in the next year, so we wouldn't be able to make that motion until those funds were passed. So you'll probably have to wait till next month's budget or next month's meeting to dig into the calendar.
But if we're planning, then that's something we want to put
It will be
on
on the list.
our list for the plan, okay?
Well, I guess as a reminder, since it has been a while, did we commit to anything with the calendars other than,
There's gonna be some of these printings,
It
and
was-
we were gonna do them as gifts, not for sale, and the quantity was still undefined. That's my
So,
memory,
I
is that
think-
correct?
I'll have to go back and look. I think I'm going off memory, that if there were funds available, we were gonna try to do some for gifts. But since I'm behind, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish everything and have extra funds to get them ordered and that money encumbered, so I'll go as hard as I can.
Okay, well, new funds start July, right?
July.
So they can come out of July,
Sure.
as long as we have them done by September or so,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah.
in good shape. So, yeah, that's where I think, where we hadn't decided whether we were gonna do 500 or 1,000 or
True.
25,000.
And then the layout type and those kind of things.
Right, so those are things we'll have to decide next year.
Well, I think what we want, I think it's fair to discuss if that's what we want to continue to do. Or if there's other or additional items that we want to consider. Meaning if there was a bigger project that we thought might be more in line with our goals than the calendar, we can discuss it. I don't know if everybody, we've had a lot of change, we've had new members. So I think right now, for the time we have, if there's any ideas of someone that we have. So potentially we have calendars, and we do have a quote, and we kind of have an idea of how much money that was going to be.
And that may come with further discussion, but can you just kind of in a nutshell explain the
Yeah, so-
calendars?
One idea, since we have every beginning of the fiscal year, starting in July 1st, the commission has a budget of $7,500, if that's approved by county council. And then, so we try to start planning before July 1st what we want to do with those funds. So last year, for FY '21, we did mini grants to help our partners or other local artists, historians for their projects, and they could apply for a mini grant. And we awarded $2,500,
We ended up doing,
or did we go up to 35?
That's okay. Yeah, I think
And then we also then said, another idea was this mural project.
Take
And,
colors with them.
and then we were going to do a calendar, printing of a calendar that would feature these as a way to help promote the murals, and to use the funds, since the balance that we thought we were gonna have last year was small, so we were looking for a small project. Turns out for the website design, I think our costs and the signage came in a little bit higher, and so we decided to push out the calendars and finish up the mural website, web design, and the signage. So what we're left with is, now we're at the end of the year, we're moving into the next year. One option is to continue on what we talked about, was printing calendars and giving them out as a way of promoting. But this is now almost like a planning session. If anyone has any ideas, since we have $7,500, what should we do? And then,
You might get an application from the little Pickens Historic site over there. They don't have a historical marker, which I was surprised they didn't have one. They've got signage out there, but it's not the state marker. And so I was kind of surprised, and I told them about it. They said, yeah, that was just too expensive for us. So I said, well, you might be able to apply, get some help there, because
They're on the national
that's kind of strange they don't have a marker.
home with a flag, so that may be the case, yeah.
they
I'll
don't.
look into that.
Thank you. Right, I guess specifically my question was what may be on the calendar,
Oh.
and you answered that question, and
Okay.
I appreciate it.
sure. And I think the marker those are kind of spendy for us, like
Yeah, 20.
Usually about slightly under 3.
3,
Yeah.
They increased their,
Something.
they increased their prices, I think, from the last one that we,
And steel's been going up like crazy, so I
Oh,
don't
it's
know that
bad.
you'd lock that price in, but.
I would say you're probably looking at $3,000 for a historical marker. They were 2,500, then it was like 2650.
Yeah.
So I think if you budgeted 3, you'd be good for them.
So that's a thought, but it's kind of sad that one of the oldest structures in the county has no marker.
Have you
Yeah.
been out there?
Let us check, she's gonna check on that, we'll bring that back up at the next meeting during the planning time.
Okay.
Has anyone heard from any of our partners or anyone that we've, on the passports, any feedback or any ideas?
I've been handing them out like crazy,
Yeah,
so
we,
it's picking up for the season.
the season has started.
People are getting picked up.
We're going through more and more in our retail places where we have the place up. And I just provided 30 to a couple of Girl Scout, Boy Scout troops, and they were doing some different things with them. And so they're being used.
I would just encourage those of us that had sites assigned to us to, if you get in the next month a chance just to call them, email, reach out to them, tell them that we're in our planning
It's good.
timeframe. Part of our goal is to not specifically, cater to one or not give an opportunity to all. But if we hear a repetitive need, then maybe that's something we could look at, such as for me, the Quilt Trail they don't have the computer skills to manage any type of website or social media. And I don't know if that's anything we can do, but I like to at least pass along the feedback that I'm getting, and I would love to hear if any but our other partners have ideas when we're coming to the table for planning. And then just individually, if anybody has any ideas or suggestions, discuss them now, or we can continue on to planning for next month. I don't know if this is something we can do, but if there's any way that, I was wondering if there's some type of publicity or opening event or something to introduce the mural when we get the signs up, whether it's an afternoon or maybe it's at a minimum, if we just, at no cost, but if we were able to get in front of council and somehow they're able to see, only because I know that they have the historical marker as a preservation was on their agenda. So I know that preserving history is important to them, but, this is a way that we're acknowledging our art side too. I think we kind of talked, was it Suzette, you, or talked about maybe at Jazz on the Alley one night that we would maybe do something with this? I don't,
We could request with Riley Johnson, with the city, to do a promotion of the murals once the signs and things are up. We could do that.
I know I have a question, just since you brought up the new ordinance about the historical marker protection, whatever, a lot of your partners may have those or may be exploring getting those and may not know about this ordinance or what it actually is gonna do or could do for them. So it may just be a good informational outreach thing to bridge that kind of government side of the county with your particular partners, get that explained to people.
Right, because I think the second reading was Tuesday night, if I recall correctly. So,
yeah. So they have one more reading and then they can vote on it.
correct. And public comment, of course, would be allowed prior to the council meeting.
I've heard a number of things about the Quilt Trail. Is there not a website that they maintain or anything giving you where the quilts are?
They have a website.
And I have, I'm sorry, go ahead.
As I say, they do, but it's not probably updated as often as they would like. It's not,
You can click on here and get a, gives you information on the trail itself. There is an interactive map.
Yeah, I think they
You can-
used,
You can pull that up and see where they all are. You can hover over it, click on it, and it gives you a little info about each quilt.
Pretty good website.
Yeah.
You can also, it will give you suggested itineraries based on, kind of a direction, keep you in the same location.
Pretty good,
Yeah.
pretty robust website.
Yeah, that's good.
They just make them so fast that they probably do.
yeah,
get a little
they
lag
and
on
they
getting them up
used,
there.
one of their grants that they got, or some of the ATAX money, and had paid for someone to do it. They just, when I went out and visited them, they're so hands-on and actual, and I'm hearing that from, in the, they know their craft, but they don't necessarily know the technology side. I know, some of the art studios are like that, where they,
Just brainstorming.
Just-
You could sponsor a social media night.
Like a class or
Like a
workshop.
class or a workshop. Send it out, offer it,
Yeah.
get someone to kind of lead a presentation. And that might be a way to help.
that's what I was thinking, was they need the how to do their marketing. What they would love for someone to do it for them, but that's not really our role, but that's what I was thinking. What is it, 1 or 2 years ago, we had talked about having those monthly nights or something, and yes, the response may not be, warrant it being once a month, but if we were to, once a quarter or once a year, offer just a type of class, whether it's, social media, whether it's marketing, whether it's accounting, something that gives them a skill that they didn't have to go figure out where to take a class or something like that.
I do have another question, if I may. Just for clarification, I've heard sites assigned to us as well as partners. I'm not certain what that means.
So when we did the passports, which I'm not even sure I'm
Right,
going.
in essence of time, just in a
So,
brief explanation, if you will, because I do not know what we're
Sure.
talking
When
about.
we did these, we all split them up, and it was before your time on the commission. I think everybody was assigned 3 or 4 locations in here, and you went and made a contact, took the original group of passports out to them, and I can reach out to you, and
Okay,
basically you would take over probably the ones Libby was doing.
okay. Yeah, well, thank
I
you.
can provide that.
Okay.
They've got a little display case. They put these in. Gotta keep them
At
restored.
individual locations.
But all the sites on there have their split display.
Yeah, okay.
And we
Thanks.
provided them a little plastic thing and something to put the passports in.
Yeah, I understand now, just, gotcha.
Does anyone have any other suggestions or discussion? Should we think about it and reconvene?
We can keep this on the agenda
Ongoing.
again for next meeting.
Yeah.
And that gives you a chance to think about options. We'll do some homework on the plaque, some class options, and bring that back to you as well.
Is the language of that ordinance currently changing at all, or is it something that we could get and review before next meeting, just to see if y'all have questions about it?
I don't know the answer to that.
Like,
I can find out.
not to interrupt you, but it could possibly be attempted to be amended at the last moment.
Okay, just throwing it out there that is, it's something going on that is pertinent to this council
Uh-huh.
commission, so.
I'm sorry, what was that, Leslie?
The ordinance that's being passed regarding historical marker
Yes, I-
protection.
Yes, I
I
have the
want to
article
make
here.
sure that y'all read that and have an opinion on it personally. If-
Yeah, I'm not aware of it, so I don't.
I
I'm not,
think
I'm
in-
not up to speed on it, so I don't know.
I think in a nutshell, it's basically calls for the county to make sure that any historical monument is protected. So in Walhalla, that's the statue that's in the middle
Yeah,
is protected and,
gotcha.
Right. Some,
It's pretty broad and sweeping so that it encompasses all of them.
yeah, and
But it may also dictate behaviors and, you know, I don't know, we just don't know what it's doing, I guess is what I'm trying to say is you might want to be sure you understand it.
and in the article that you're looking at, does it specifically have the ordinance quoted? The proposed ordinance, is it quoted in that article? If not, I mean, we can get a copy of it, that'd be nice to email it out.
If you go to Oconee's website, go to the last council meeting and go to the backup information, you'll be able to pull up the most recent ordinance. And then prior to third reading, when that agenda comes out, the proposed ordinance will be in that backup material.
That makes sense.
Just go to OconeeSC.com, go to
Yeah.
council and that certain council, the June 1st council date, and you'll be able to pull up the ordinance in entirety, and you'll be able to read that.
well, there's, yes, do you
I
have?
have a question.
Yes.
We, our art center, the Blue Ridge Art Center, received $500 for the mini grant. Is there a form I'm supposed to fill out to get the money, or what? Is it end of the report?
You've already got the money, correct?
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you should have already gotten the money. There is
Okay.
a form to send back.
Okay.
I'll send that to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it was included in the original
Okay.
packet, but
Because
I can
I've
send
got-
you one.
All right, I've got a couple things here, but
Okay.
Okay. Next meeting is June 10th at 6 PM here in the chamber. If there's no other.
2 weeks away.
Yeah, well, it will be a few weeks away. There's no other discussion items, then I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second?